some tea with the bougie babe. Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Uninhibited, uncensored. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Uninhibited, uncensored. Come on, y'all. Sip some tea with the bougie babe. Uninhibited, uncensored. Let's talk about it. 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 Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Bougie Babe podcast. Today's episode is about the self-proclaimed, and let me just emphasize self-proclaimed Godfather, Kevin Samuels. And if my bougies out there recall, on one of our previous episodes, we had Kojo, who's here with us today, who said that he was about to resurrect Kevin Samuels. And we have Jay from Pose to Husband podcast. And by the way, if you haven't done so, tune in. They go over an influx of things, and they also give a wealth of information. Some of it I agree with, some of it I don't, but hey, that's what makes the world go around. Either way, tune in. Today's tea is called Porn Star. That's to tribute to Kevin Samuels, because we all know that he, in actuality, he liked the porn star. The ingredients for today's drink for the porn star is vanilla vodka, passion fruit liqueur, passion fruit puree, lime juice freshly squeezed, vanilla simple syrup, and a sparkling wine chilled. And the key to this drink is chilled. And again, the drink, the tea, is Porn Star to pay homage to Kevin Samuels. So if you don't know who Kevin Samuels was, he was, a little controversial in his thought processes. He believed that Black women had unrealistically high standards about the types of men they should be dating, while also being vocally critical of men who are poor or overweight. That was some of his beliefs, no?
Yeah. No, he was critical on men just like he was on women.
Okay, well, elaborate, explain. Not really.
I mean, I don't know if it's critical, if it's true. Might not be critical. You know what I'm saying? If it's true. He does have a point there. I would say if it's not considered critical, I would say if it's a statement of fact. If somebody got bad breath and I tell them that they breath stink, some may think I'm made critical because the truth hurt. But I'm actually trying to help.
But he said that we were being vocally critical of men who are poor or overweight. I mean, but did he or did he not have a thing about women being overweight? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, he did. He would ask them, okay, what was their height, what was their weight and dress size?
Yeah.
You would ask that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's important.
Why?
It's important to.
Why?
All right, so you're saying weight doesn't matter to, like, amongst weight doesn't matter is what you're saying?
I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but how you get off just going to start asking a woman's weight, dress size, and height?
Listen, it's important to the job you're applying for.
I agree. I think context here matters because these women are getting on his show, saying, "Hey, I want a man that makes six figures or more, whatever that may be." Obviously the starting point is 100,000 here, and he would ask them, "Okay, well, what's your weight height?" Because those men, let's just say, for example, he's making 150,000 now. depending on what city, I guess it's not as much in, say, in the New York City area as it would be in, say, Charlotte, North Carolina, or Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, any of those cities, right? So let's say for the sake of conversation, it's in Dallas, 150,000. That goes a long way there. So that guy probably has better options than, let's just say, the woman for like their description who's considered to be overweight, who's 5'3" and 180 pounds.
I mean, let's look at it like this for what it was. Those people call his show.
Facts.
And they told him what problems they was having.
Okay.
So now, him being the problem solver.
He was a problem solver.
The problem solver. They called him with it. They called him with their issues.
Right.
So he like, all right, let's get down to your issue. Let me see, because I don't know you. So, virtually or telephonically, however, let me get to know you. So now he asks the pertinent question: what's your size? What dress size you wear? How tall are you? It gives you a idea of that person's physical.
I mean, I'll just pick back over what he said, right? These women willfully called the show. He didn't force these women to call the show. He didn't have a gun to their head. They went and called his show. So when you're calling out somebody else's platform, hey, how they give it to you? It's fair game. Unfortunately, whether you like the way they say it or not, the way they give it to you or not, it's all fair game because you're calling somebody else's platform. Now, just thinking of that one episode where he told that woman she was average at best, right? More people started calling ever since that video went viral. More people started calling this show. It wasn't like, damn, they were so outraged, I'm going to stop calling this show. If you didn't like what I always said, if you don't like what he has to say, then stop calling this show. There you go. Problem solved.
I mean, well, maybe somebody was calling in hopes that he would give a difference of opinion. But I mean, I think that in my opinion, I think he contradicted his lifestyle was contradictory in what he was saying.
How so? What give an example of that?
The thing. I don't know his lifestyle.
Well, I mean, a lot of it came out when, at the time of his unfortunate passing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people.
Oh, what do you mean by that? Like, what was contradicting to what he was saying in his lifestyle? Like, just give a quick example.
Then he died with a fat guy.
Exactly. My point exactly. And his bank account was one of his bank accounts was in the negative.
Well, he had a good amount of money. It wasn't like he was broke. It wasn't like he left his family nothing. And that's not true.
All right. So first of all, this dude was an internet celebrity. The internet celebrity.
Yeah.
The internet. Where my camera at?
He just tapped into a niche.
Where my camera at? No, I need to look in the camera so all the viewers can understand and listen to what I'm saying when I say
you don't have a camera.
The internet
my next question
is not real.
That's true.
Let me say that again. The internet is not real.
It's not that the internet is not real. What it is perception is reality. And what people are perceiving on the internet, that is their reality in that moment.
So when their reality turns out to not be true,
not real.
It ain't. It's not necessarily he portrayed a false narrative of himself. They just found out the real about him, which is not what he, in essence, portrayed in his critique of other people. Like if I'm poor, right? Let's say I leave out of here and I go stay at. I was about to promote. I ain't want to promote them. I was about to promote them, but I ain't want to promote them. But let me say I leave out of here and I go stay. I'm going to sleep in my boy basement, right? But when you see me online, you see me, I'm portraying like, yo, we at the parties, I'm popping bottles, I got the money, I got dough. I can do that.
That is the perception is reality.
Yeah, I can do that. But the reality is, you know what I'm saying? That's all internet.
I'm not really a believer of perception is reality. I say they would say everything that glitters isn't gold and perception is really found reality. But to say that he died broke, it came from non-criminal.
No. Who said he died broke? I didn't say he
I
died
thought you
broke.
saying he died.
I said one of his
Yeah.
accounts was in the negative.
But I
Didn't
believe
mean
he
that
left
was
his
broke.
daughter like
but-
it was a couple of million or something like that he left. So
I didn't hear that one, but maybe I got
Well, I mean-
to research.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that matters. You know, the whole point is he look, the internet, a lot of it is gimmick. So I think he identified a space that was open.
He just tapped into something.
Yeah, he identified the
He tapped
space
in.
where nobody was
Right
moving.
time.
You know what I'm saying? It was a lane that was free,
Yeah.
and he could just ride it and kind of be. I wouldn't say be creative or authentic, but nobody else was doing what he was doing.
No. Well, I think context here matters of how he got to where he was at. I mean, you know, in the 24 months prior to his untimely death, yeah, I mean, he's had a meteor rise to the top, you know. But how did he get there? At first, he started out, I think he was a fragrance reviewer at first, you know, for a few years. And then he got into the manosphere space after that. Now, I think for a year or so, he was critiquing men. There was men calling show, he was critiquing them at first. Then he switched over to critiquing the women. And that's how he got to where, and like I said, obviously the video that put him on that was the average at best. Now, I don't know if you guys have watched that whole video, the whole segment. I actually did. And context doesn't matter. That woman calls his show, and I think it was Disagreement Wednesday, where people can call whoever disagreed with them and call it and voice their disagreements. Now, the woman was like, hey, I need dating advice, you know, I'm a high value man. Now he said, hey, this is Disagreement Wednesday. Why don't you book a session? She kept insisting. So you talked about at least 5 times saying, hey, why don't you book a session? And she kept insisting. So he said, okay, I'll already call. And that's when he starts asking questions. Now, when he asked her to rate herself, she said she was a 4 without makeup and a 5 with makeup. So she called herself average. He didn't tell her what to rate herself. She, on her own free will, rated herself.
Mm-hmm.
So, her words now.
You didn't see the episode, so stop it.
But I ain't had to see it. I'm going by what he said.
But
What he said sound average is best.
Those are her words. So he said,
And them her words too.
he said, hey, you know, high earning men don't want average looking women. And that was his word. And, you know, she said, hey, she has a child. And I guess the big daddy that wasn't around. So she was like, hey, I date guys and I feel like, you know, I'm taking care of them. Yeah, but he was like, hey, why don't you just get you an average dude and just keep it pushing? She gives him a wife, deserve a high value male. And he's only leasing the average.
Well, everybody's entitled to go after what they want, and if
They
that's
are.
what she wants, then that's what she wants. And I mean, if she work at it hard enough, she'll get her high value.
And that's why Kevin Samuels was who he was, because this world is the world of you can have and do whatever you want.
Right.
If your heart desires it. That's not true.
Well, he said, why are so many modern women holding out? What are they holding out for? What is your response to that?
Say that again.
Why are so many modern women holding out? And then he's like, what are they holding out for?
Holding out. I'm assuming he's talking about holding out
For a certain type
for
of
like
Mhm.
a certain, like they waiting for that special guy that night, the normal, so to speak. That's what they mean, holding out.
No, he was asking why.
Okay.
Like his question was why.
I
'Cause
mean,
he later then said, whatever it is, it's not working. And you end up being a party of one.
so yeah.
My-
So when he talking about holding out for that guy,
Right.
For
That's
that,
what
for
I'm
that person.
So what is your take on that?
Oh,
That women holding out?
Well, I'll think the women only want 20% of the men. They do this across
That
dating.
80/20 rule?
They do this across dating.
Okay.
They
And who
want
did
that.
this study?
I believe this was Pew Research Center. Don't quote me on it, but that's what I do believe it was. Now, they go across these things because these dating apps actually have an algorithm.
We know this.
And they actually filter out, hey, we want men that's up, 6 foot and up, above 6'1" here. Now, that's only
That's
about,
fair.
I believe that's 20%.
That's what?
that's just Phil.
Now, I believe that makes about 20% of the population. There's only about 20% that's over 6 foot of men. Now, 6'4",
I'm not sure.
6'4", and these like 6'4". Now, some they want 6'4" and above. That's only 1% of the world.
Okay.
All right, but see, I think that's for like dating sites and
Yeah.
all that. But
That's what a lot.
but the reality, I think.
Holding out for height?
I
Only out for making X
nah.
amount of dollars.
Nah, listen, they'll
Okay,
forgive.
but
They'll forgive like if
you're
other
entitled
things.
to wait out. I mean, if you want a guy that, or a partner that makes a certain amount of money, that's your right.
Listen,
There's nothing wrong with that.
Women will forgive a lot on their lists or boxes that they need to be checked.
That is true.
If
True.
the person that they like or interested in, if the vibe is there and if that person is interactive, and what I mean by interactive is they are almost just as crazy about them as she is him, she'll forgive some of the boxes that might not be checked because it works for her. But why I feel most women holding out, right? What do you call them women? Whatever, high value, no way. So whatever. Why I feel most of these women holding out is because, see, all right,
He said they end up becoming a party of one.
They end up becoming party of one, and I agree 100% because it's their past, right, holding them back from their future. Yes, and what happens is as they list of criteria gets larger and larger and larger, and then they meeting the wrong guy. It's not anybody else's problem. It's mostly their problem because it's
because
who
a man doesn't know how to be. Most of these men
it's not the
doesn't
man.
know how to be a man.
It's not the man.
Most of the men don't know how to be
You're
a man.
choosing.
So
It's the men that they
No.
It's like he said.
No.
It's partially
The
what he said.
pickings are slim.
It's
to
not.
nine.
No.
Okay,
The pickings is not.
So you're saying most of the men don't know how to be men. What would you describe as being a man? What is that to you?
A lot of men are immature. They don't know what they want. They say what they want.
And those are the ones.
But they don't say what they mean and mean what they say. They are indecisive, inconsistent.
Whole face man.
But listen,
So
those are the ones that most women like. Like
how?
And
For the time being, not for long term.
All right, so you speak on the time being. So let me tell you how the time being works. So yeah.
Oh, here we go. I have time being.
Yeah.
Women are so disconnected from men.
Resurrect heaven send. Reincarnated. All right.
Women are so disconnected from men.
Listen.
What is your opinion on that statement?
Oh, so we running from the other question.
No, because I didn't ask that question. This is the question that I had.
Oh, what's that?
Women are so disconnected from men.
Women are so.
What is your opinion on that?
Solution. Well, I think that disconnection is, it could be both sides.
Okay, I can agree.
You know what I'm saying? It could be both sides.
I think that's fair.
The connection ain't just based off one person. You know?
That's fair.
So
I agree.
I think the disconnection is. I think the disconnection honestly just originally comes from picking the wrong person. Because if you look, just think, and I'm outside of this. We gonna talk about phones. If I try to charge my phone with an iPhone charger, that shit ain't gonna work, right? So if you're trying to connect with a person that really ain't connecting with you, there's gonna be some disconnect.
Yeah, I would agree to that. Like you said, I think the disconnect with women to men, I think it kind of stems from some of the early questions, right? Some of the expectations aren't realistic of what they want out of that man. I think that's what disconnect comes, is they have these expectations they don't set their expectations to a realistic standard here, and that's what disconnect.
You said a realistic standard?
Realistic standard or expectations. It's not realistic, so I think that's what a disconnect is. They're reading these men.
How is it not realistic?
So since we're talking about Kenny Sanders, just think of some of these women that way. Call his show. Hey, I want a high value man. I want a man that makes 6 figures. I mean, when you say you want these things, you're automatically eliminating more than half the dating.
Okay, but he encouraged men to draw their value and worth from the amount of money they make.
You should listen as a man. You should always strive to do better, right? Let's just say, for example, you start making $50,000. You should be thinking, okay, how do I turn this 50,000 into 60,000? How do I turn this 60,000 to 80,000, and so on and so forth?
He got a lot of flack for saying the stuff. This is a grown people show. Saying the shit that we think about, but we just won't say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real. It's real.
Why won't you say though?
Because it may not be right. It may not be politically correct. It may not be perceived or to come off. It may be cruel. Like for instance, like you look at it, celebrities typically date celebrity.
True.
Right? You'll see. Neil Long ain't gonna date the guy that's working security at
But I think that's only because these are the people that they are around. That's in their.
That's part of it.
That's their circle.
That's part of it. But that's what
they probably feel like there's a certain level of connection. That's just like you might work in a particular profession and you find yourself surrounded by that group of people most of the time.
Gotcha.
So you end up having that commonality, and so then you will end up dating someone that works within your profession or at your employer.
Nope, that makes a whole lot of sense of what you're saying. You know, obviously you would probably get along, you know, you have connection with somebody that you're in close proximity to, whether, like you said, they're in the entertainment bit, like Neil Long's in the entertainment business. So she would have proximity to other folks, other actors, folks in that entertainment business, right? But from what she's saying, like, let's just say Neil Long's in the grocery store, me coming up to her as I work at the post office, coming up to her, trying to shoot my shot. Is she gonna give me the time of day? Hell no. Probably not.
You never know. I mean, there are some celebrities that date outside of that, and they find that they have a more settled down lifestyle. They have more of a lifestyle that they are actually looking for, that they thought that they could find in another celebrity.
No, I mean, it can happen. It definitely can happen. But it's not typical.
But money attracts money. It's not typical, but money attracts money.
Yeah, but that goes to what Kevin Samuel said that he was saying, that Jay was saying, is like, all right, if I make a certain amount of money, let's just say my base is $1 million. I'm $1 million.
There's some chicks out here, like we already know in one of our other episodes. Some chicks like that broke dick.
Yeah, but yeah, but we ain't talking about broke dick.
But I'm saying is
talking about rich dick.
What I'm saying is that, of course, and that's what a woman wants. You don't want that
broke dick.
Hell no, you want that high value man.
All right, yeah, but
that got that
to go back to what Kevin Samuel said.
He ain't trying to. He don't got his point to prove. But
if I'm making $1 million, he said, why do men? What was the statement? Men.
It's the disconnect from the women.
No, men.
He encourages men to draw their value and worth from the amount of money they make.
Yeah, it's not necessarily drawing your value and worth. It's just.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah, but if I'm a millionaire, I'm making millions, right? No disrespect to the broke pussy, right? But
there's not a lot of broke pussy out there. I'm
generally not gonna shop in the broke pussy arena. I'm gonna be in the area where it's rich pussy.
What's the fine broke pussy to a man?
Broke pussy arena?
Yeah.
I mean, if she had the cheesecake, I'm bullshit. You know how to throw that one in there.
Hey, that was a good one.
No. But like, I'm just saying, whatever. If she had the bus stop.
Because you're not gonna.
That's not going to be fun.
You're not gonna find a. I'm not gonna say broke pussy chick, but you're not gonna find that chick trying to, get with a dude just to keep a roof over her head and sleeping on the couch. Where you flip that, that broke dick nigga is fucking with you because he needs a roof over his head. He needs to use your car to spin the block while you at.
Nah, forget that. I'm offering the back. I'm offering a different statistic and a different question. Fellas, I need y'all to get at the Bougie Babe podcast. Holla at her. I don't know if she got a phone number on Google or nothing. Holla at her. Get at her. Cause look, tell us, fellas, what pussy is better. Chick at the bus stop or a beat up hoopty or a chick with a fly ride. I think the beat up
hoopty.
Chick
Short
Fuck out of here.
fire. Listen, I need fire.
Don't hit me up with that nonsense.
I ain't gonna hold you.
No.
That'd be some of the best pussy right there. I didn't know.
on the bus, boy. Man, and if she got transfer in her pocket.
Man, move
A transfer in her pocket.
All right, that means she called 2 buses.
that had to be on body too. Let's be real here. But
No, y'all just want that broke pussy chick because you can take advantage of her. You can manipulate her.
Okay. Why can't we take advantage of her? Why can't we bring her
that
up?
chick that's high value.
Why can't we bring her up?
You can't even bring yourselves up.
Miss Bluesy,
I don't know about them out there, but
I got to put on something you said about the broke dick. Now, that's not to say that there aren't dudes who do that for a roof over their head, because there are.
They do.
You got that's a homosexual. So that's
No, don't say that.
That's what they are.
listen,
Don't say
man.
that.
They're
Chicks
homosexual.
love it. They
Yeah.
love it, and they love them.
Listen, you say it might, but there's women out there that will go out here and have survival sex. They'll suck a hitch over the trailer, give them that bomb pussy for a Yes, they will.
It's more broke.
Hit you off a trap.
It's more broke dick than the chicks.
I mean, I don't know the numbers there.
Listen,
That's
but
all.
We had against that, did charity work and allowed broke dick to live with her for, what'd she say, 8 years?
But check this out.
I don't recall.
Explain this to me.
Explain what?
Why do these high value women, right?
Okay, excuse me. Here's another question.
Oh, you
Go
don't
ahead.
want to hear my question?
Switching gears here.
You want to hear my question?
Kevin Samuels said,
Same shit my man Kev.
Make this shit.
the responsibility for marriages to work is placed on the women, not both.
The responsibility for marriage to work
Right.
is
Is placed on the women and not both.
I can go with that. I mean, listen, I can ride with that.
Are you married?
No,
We know why. Are you married?
No.
And we know why.
that's not true. That's not true,
There
lady.
you have it.
Let me tell you,
Because
I ain't
I never gave this.
so first of all, I ain't never been married.
They're not-
If I was divorced, you could say, you know what?
they're not
I ain't never been married, lady.
because they're not willing to put in the work.
It ain't nothing to do with pussy.
Usually the men who are not married hightail it at the first sign of trouble.
I got
What you mean you gonna let
You finish or you done?
I gotta push back on that one. There.
Neither one.
You finish or you done?
Neither one.
Now, I will send this to that point.
And I feel like I'm in this alone. Let me just put
You
this.
should've- you
Let
should've
me just
worked on
put.
backup.
Let me just put this disclaimer out there. I don't need no backup because
Once you
I'm
talking
on
about my boy
I'm on the
Kev.
backup. I'm on the backup
Yeah.
that I need.
All right, well, listen.
So let me just put this disclaimer out there. Normally the trend on the Bougie Babe is 3 guests along with myself. And so I usually, will have 2 males and a female or 2 females and 1 male. And there was a guest that was booked, a female, that decided at the very last minute that they just was not going to show up. And
Unfortunate.
I think that that's really rude and inconsiderate of my time
Which
as
is
well
high
as
value and
my
you
money.
broke, bitch.
Well, I wish she was on for what it's worth.
Well,
If she was high value, see the problem right there? What these high value women be doing?
Boozy.
I wouldn't call her high value.
Well, Boozy, I gotta push back.
Well,
I gotta push back on your earlier
there's the other problem.
on your earlier point there. In my opinion here, I think it does take both sides for that marriage to work. Right? Both sides got to put in the work. Both sides
Right.
got to be. Both sides got to be equally gone. Both sides.
I see where you're going.
into this in
Ain't
order
no
for
you
it to
see
work.
where you going because I didn't say it. Kevin Samuels said it.
Right.
I don't agree
Listen,
with that.
I don't.
The Bougie Babe does not agree with that
Listen,
statement.
I
I feel
don't-
like the onus is on
Now listen.
And that's what
He
Jake is saying.
telling you why?
I don't need you to be the moderator.
What?
I hear what you say.
But listen,
Okay.
you know, listen,
Let that porn star.
That's right.
Let that porn star.
Now listen, Paul.
Kevin, you know, he said the late great Kevin Samuels said a lot of great things there, but that doesn't mean I agree with everything. That doesn't mean everything he said was absolutely clear, right? But like I said, I think both sides need to be in it. You know, in a marriage, I think both sides got to be all in or not at all in order for
I
that
can
marriage
agree
to be
with that.
sustainable,
And
in
that
order for that marriage to work here.
that is fair.
You know, I think what happens is, you know, and I would say on the women's part, you know, they like the title of being wife, they like the wedding and everything, but some don't want to do what it takes to actually be a wife and make that match work. I would say that on the women's side, I think sometimes now I'm saying here it goes for the men's part, right? Men will get into the marriage, right? But I think sometimes what happens is they get comfortable or get complacent and they don't
Agreed.
do the things that worked and got that marriage in the first place, or, you know, to have a good relationship with that woman. You know, sometimes they might get complacent. They're not looking to, say, up their value, for a lack of a better description. And I think that's where the men go along in the match. So I think both sides need to be in it, all in or not at all, equally yoked there.
So I just thought about something and let me like dial it back just a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm a little bit old fashioned in the dating processes, meaning that when we made statements about women looking for men, I just don't believe that a woman should look for a man. I feel like the man should be looking for the woman. You, as a woman, as a female, you can put yourself in a space that would signify that you are single and available, but I don't think that a woman should go out and hunt a man.
So this stuff we're clear here. So you mean like, okay, woman should put herself out there. Like, for example, let's just say you put yourself on a dating app, or you go to a mixer event or any kind of dating event. That's fine, and you know, make sure she's dressed up, looked the par, but she shouldn't go trying to holler at the man. Is that what you're saying there?
For the most part.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I don't
it's different.
the dating app thing, you know, I'm still kind of like,
you don't care
but-
about dating apps.
no.
You
I'm more traditional. Like, I would rather either it be through like a mutual friend or something like that. But you can, you know, dress in a manner where, you know, presentable,
Right.
to make yourself attractive to,
Basically,
you know, whatever.
you're saying that you feel like the man should make the first move. It should be the man making the first move.
Right. I mean,
Yeah, I agree
so,
with that,
and the thing is like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I can say what it is, what qualities I'm looking for, or, you know, what material things that I may want that man to have or whatever. I can have that in my mind and say, oh, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I would look for in a man. But when I say look for, I'm not philly actively going out like, oh, you know, let me go find somebody, whatever. I just think that it is different times, but that's just me.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I agree with the most part. I don't necessarily disagree per se. I say as a woman, especially in this day and age, if you want to be in a committed relationship, I think, in my opinion, you have to put yourself out there, whether that's dating apps or that's going to mixer events, speed dating events, whatever the case may be. I think you have to put yourself out there to be seen. If you're just saying, hey, I'm just going to sit around and hopefully a man finds me, I don't think that's
obviously we know that's not going to happen like that.
Right.
But,
the flip side to that. A lot of women say, you know,
like, I'm sorry, Claudia, for a woman, for example, a woman proposing to a man.
hell no.
I will mop the ocean first before some shit like that.
Sure. But
yeah.
I
But that's just the same. To me, that has the same analogy. Like,
listen, ladies, please stop doing that. That's lame as hell, fellas.
It really is.
Fellas, don't take it.
I can't say what I want to say.
But
how
listen,
I feel a man is if he allows a woman to propose to him.
listen, if you're a woman that come and propose to me, I'm just gonna look at you like you're crazy and just walk away, like, you know. And then and the crazy part is they're taping this and they're putting this out on the internet. Like, it's just not a good look at all.
And then it's fake. Ain't real.
Okay, proven.
Well, Dave Chappelle said it best. Twitter is not a real place.
Hey, I don't believe 98% of the shit that I see on the internet, I don't believe it. So
Well, hey,
that's all I got.
we got to get
But at the end of the day, a lot of women, like I said, they want man, they want the person, they want this fairy tale love. But honestly, when it does come before them, half of the time they shun it away because it's not in a space or a place that they orchestrate. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I mean like in the supermarket, in the bank, while you're in line. I don't know, you might be at your kid's game. You know what I'm saying? You don't know where you're gonna meet your husband at. But when that guy stepped to you and he stepped to you respectfully in a manner that, you know, could be respected, a lot of women, just because they not ready to receive it, they shun them dudes away. And then they get dressed all up, go out to the club with their girl and be like, ain't no good niggas in here. Well, you just shunned away the good nigga that was at your son's game or in the supermarket or in the gym. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like that. So a lot of women,
man.
failure, let's say failure for as finding that person, it's predicated a lot on them and what they do.
That's a
And
fact.
how they move.
That's a fact.
Absolutely.
I don't even throw you one further, right? Hey, go look at dudes you got in your friend zone. Those be the ones right there. Those dudes that you friend zone, someone else probably could have been the one. Could have been that man. That you
No, that's
Why
why my
not?
friend.
Damn. That's how you
No,
feel.
some of those dudes in the friend zone that he talking about probably would be
No, that's
good
why they're
for
in
you.
friend zone.
But no, they in the friend zone because that's where they're supposed to be. You don't want them.
Right,
Bottom
because
line.
they're not your husband.
But they probably would be the best for you.
So-
Meanwhile,
No, they would
Well,
not be.
Dante
That's why
fucking
they're.
brains
That's
out.
why they're.
Hold on.
And
Let me
That's
ask you.
why they're in
running your
friend
credit
zone.
boost in the bank.
Okay,
Boozy, let me-
Dante
hold
can
on.
fuck my brains out
Boozy.
then while my friend is over there in the friend zone.
And he driving your car and bringing it back
He
home.
ain't driving my
Boozy.
car. Ain't nobody driving shit of mine.
Hey, Miss Boozy,
Yeah.
give us an example. Can you give us like a couple reasons you would friend zone a guy?
Why I would friend zone a guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of variables with that. I can't.
There's only one variable in that.
They need to date
So,
my friend.
all right, so what variable in why you would friend zone a guy? Because you don't want to fuck him.
Hold on. Just
Not necessarily, because there's some friends that in friend zone that people have
give
fun.
us-
So you
hold on.
got friends in your friend zone that you want to fuck?
That I want to fuck. I didn't say that I want to fuck. I said there are some people in the friend zone that people have fucked,
Yeah. But
which is another
but-
episode. That's
you
called-
can't be in the
that's-
friend zone.
That's my best friend.
Boozy.
So if
Hold
y'all
on,
want to be
hold
a
on,
guest
hold on.
on that
Hold
episode,
on,
let me
hold
know.
on.
Hit me up at thebougiebed@gmail.com.
Pause on the porn star.
Excuse me, Bougie Bed Podcast. Or you can hit me up at thebougiebed.com and go to my website and hit me up if you would like to be a guest on my show.
Commercial.
I absolutely do, because guess what? I'm my biggest advocate.
Oh, man.
You gotta be, otherwise no one will. But Boozy, can I just ask you? Give us an example of one time you friend zoned a guy or a reason why you might friend zone. I want to hear that.
Gotta clarify the friend zone.
Okay, so
She just
A dude that you
flag
have
on the pool.
Ain't
no,
there's
I
no
would say
flag
a
on
dude
the
that
play.
you have a dude that you meet that you have no sexual interest in whatsoever or never had sex.
So you
Look,
want to know
look.
why I friend zone him?
I want to know.
Okay, so the reason why I friend zoned them is because I didn't have that initial attraction to them, and I didn't bother or want to take the time out to even get to know them on a different level. I mean, listen, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not gonna say that there's people in my friend zone that probably would not be the best person for me.
Mhm.
Probably so.
Okay.
I'm not willing to or don't want to take the time out to get to know them. Now, I will say that there have been occasions where I knew someone just simply as, I'm not even going to call them a friend. I would say associate.
Mhm.
And I say associate is because, like, when, you might see that person in passing, hi, bye. You might have, brief conversations, right?
Yep.
Friends to me are people that I allow you in my space. And when I say allow you in my space, meaning you've been to my home, you've met my family members, You probably met my kids, things like that, right?
Mhm.
So I've been wrong sometimes about those friends because if I took the time out to get to know one of them or some of them on a much deeper level,
Right.
it was like, oh my God, I didn't know that you were like this.
Oh, gotcha.
But once I have made up in my mind that you are a friend, I will never cross that boundary, that threshold.
think-
It doesn't happen. It doesn't work for me.
But I think that's for most women. Once they kind of have you kind of in that friend zone, I would say it's really hard to get out of. Like women know what to say. Well, you know what? Let me give this guy a chance. Or let me give him some. Like I'll ask you. I just want to follow up to that, right? So, has there ever been like a dating interest that you had, maybe you were initially interested in, as far as dating wise, and then
that I was interested in
dating wise, like
okay,
you are mutually interested in, right? And
okay,
you just said, okay, I'm not dealing with him for whatever reason. He's in the friend zone now. Has there ever been any of those situations for you?
You mean did we date or was the
You initially started off as a love interest and then end up friend zoning him for whatever reasons.
No, because I don't need no new friends.
Damn. Okay. All right then.
That's not me.
Yeah,
So,
that's the same thing everybody saying.
It's not
just the truth, right?
But I mean, if I dated you, or if we were in a space where we were dating, we had some type of intimacy,
Mhm.
whether it was through conversation or physical.
Mhm.
And at some point, if there was a breakdown in that where we didn't take it further, I don't need to be your friend. I don't want to be your friend. And I mean, now if I see you, that doesn't mean I wouldn't speak. Like I would speak and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" And then you give that shoulder hug like that.
Mhm.
But for me to pick up the phone and be texting and calling, and for you to be my friend and be like, hey, big head.
Most men don't want to do that.
I'm not doing that.
I don't think most men don't want to do that. Like, for example, if I could be someone and they talk about, hey, we can be friends, I'm not interested in that. I don't care for that. The friendship wouldn't be genuine.
Okay, so if you dated someone, you're saying you wouldn't be their friend? The same thing.
It just depends on what it is. Like if we're dating and, we just stopped on what point, I guess on amicable terms, maybe. But for me, after it's done, not just it's done.
It happens rare. It's rare cases it happens, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? It's a purpose why y'all connected.
See, in my mind,
and if that purpose ain't present no more.
In my mind, I think that if you have dated someone and you remain friends with that person, that there's still some sort of connection or hope for both parties that we can rekindle what we had. And I feel like at some point in time, you may circle the block and you may smack, not with the intention of being in a relationship or dating.
I agree.
It's just because you're comfortable with each other.
You
you're
can't
like,
be friends.
and you're like, oh,
it leaves I think from my perspective,
it leaves the door
open.
Exactly.
And, listen, if the woman's gonna give it to us, hey, we're gonna take it. I'll speak for myself. I wouldn't be above that.
That's why you don't need to be friends.
I agree.
That's just my opinion.
No, I agree.
I just want to piggyback off of something Kojo touched on earlier, and he spoke about a female being at her child's game, her son's game or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Kevin Samuels, he failed to give grace and mercy to single mothers.
Yeah.
He criticized women for having children out of wedlock and failing to have traditional values.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which it takes.
I'm about to lose some father.
Yeah, I'm going to take people on the same as well.
Because I don't care about many.
But speak up. You're trying to act like you.
You get no sultry over there.
Kojo trying to lift up.
I said I'm about to lose some followers. And it's okay because I don't care about no followers any damn way. But see, I think he was misunderstood with his take on single mothers.
Okay.
Like I said, like he misunderstood about a lot of stuff he said because it wasn't the message. It was the tone of the message that people misunderstood. So I think what he was speaking about when he talked about single mothers is a lot of time, you know, dating, the success on dating is timing. Timing is 100% the ingredient to success of dating anybody. And I think sometimes when it comes to single mothers, they have that desire to want to get back out there and want to be with somebody. But the timing is bad. If your kid is small, that's a sacrifice you might have to take. You might not be able to date with a small kid. You know what I'm saying? It was your choice to have that child. So with the wrong person, evidently, because y'all ain't together. Right? I guess it could be the right person sometimes, but most of the time it's the wrong person. So y'all ain't together. And now you got a little kid you raising on your own, but you got that other desire. Okay, you can still, this is where the problem is with women, but not necessarily with men. Because we can have a kid and we can date this one, date that one, sleep with this one, sleep with that one. And they ain't got to be around our kid and meet our kid and none of that. Women don't necessarily move in that manner. You know what I'm saying? It's a connection type thing. Y'all ain't just freely giving that box away. And I respect that. You don't have to. But you got to sacrifice something there. You know what I'm saying? Either you want to get your box beat up, right? And get that taken care of, or you want to be a mother. But it's kind of hard to do both when you got a young child.
Well, it's very hard. And we talked about this on the Bougie Babe podcast on Instagram on our live last week. I think you joined in.
I was looking at, but next time I'll get on with y'all. Next time you like, I'll join in.
You had to, cause Smash. Are you out there? $40, motherfucker.
Ooh.
I missed that.
Oh, I missed that one. I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
$40 Smash.
Oh my God. Him and his $40. If you didn't see that live,
I gotta go back and look.
Y'all missed it. Because Smash was giving y'all females the business with this $40. And these kids, because he said, fuck these kids. You need to put the kids to bed. If you come to your house, the kids need to be
you know what?
in the bed.
I used to be like that back in my whole phase days, back in my 20s. That was me. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'd be like, hey, if she had a kid, hey, what time you putting the kids in bed? Put in bed at 10, I'll be there at 11.
And that's what Smash said.
I mean,
that's how
it's supposed to be.
Sometimes, hey, I'm bringing Benadryl. It was time like bring
the
Benadryl.
Benadryl.
Yeah. I had Benadryl all put in sleep. Hey, you need Benadryl out there?
Nowadays they use
melatonin.
That's the melatonin equivalent.
This is why I used to back.
Dip a lollipop in some NyQuil. Lollipop, kid. Motherfuckers be out.
Bobby, Uncle Kojo gave me a lollipop.
This don't. Like, and back then, listen, I didn't want to see the kids. I feel like this when I came over, I didn't even know what the kids look like.
I mean, that's cool. I know for me, but my children, and when I was, single with my children, I actually chose not to date. And a lot of people did not believe that when I was saying, no, I'm not interested. Why? Because my kids were small and I would not allow anyone to come to my house to know where I lived at, to even meet my children. And I wasn't going outside, because then that meant I would have to leave my kids alone.
I have no problem.
I didn't do that. And I wasn't that mother that felt like, aunt, uncle, whoever come along and he got to take care of my kids. That wasn't their responsibility.
No.
So, and there's people that don't know that I have more than one child.
I don't know. I certainly don't know that, but you know what? I do agree with you there. And honestly, I have no problem with that. You're looking out for your own safety and your children's safety in that situation.
That should be
right. I agree there. You know, here's my thing on single motherhood. And listen, I gotta be honest here. Not a fan of single motherhood. Here's why. I feel like when you have a child raised by yourself, I would say you're breaking up the family structure there. Like me personally, I feel like, yeah, let's just say you are. Hopefully, for what it's worth, I hope you have it. For those that are single mothers, for what it's worth, I hope you have an active father out there. For what it's worth. I don't believe in guys, having babies and not taking care of their kids. But
Well, I
that's
don't
just me.
believe in women having babies with more than one man.
I agree. You know,
That's just my opinion. I mean, they say shit happens, but I don't agree with it.
I don't agree with that neither.
And Kevin Samuels, his thought process was that there's a greater demand and expectation for the single mother to be easy when it comes to a high value man because she is looked at as having already been sexually active. Thus, she should not have a problem continuing her previous behavior with that high value man. After all, no high value man wants a single mom when other young women are available with no kids. So on that aspect, I think that's deep. I think that's a strong truth. And I think that my bougies that's out there listening, if you need to rewind that to hear that again, you should listen to that and you should take that in.
Yeah.
And implement that in your life. Like, you need to think about who you're laying with when you're laying with them. Because, I mean, in reality, sex is meant to have kids. I mean, besides the pleasure of it, but
It's meant to procreate.
it's meant to procreate. So when you lay down, you got to think, you really got to think about that. So, you can't.
Boozy, here's the thing, right? So you listen. There's a
The light skinned people would think.
out of 30 days out of the month, there's only a short window of when you can get pregnant when you're pregnant. Boozy, you knew when you were pregnant. You know the day's okay when I'm ovulating with Jack.
No, I didn't know when I was ovulating. I just wanted the fuck.
So are you saying back in your younger days you didn't know?
I didn't know. Nobody told me that shit.
Really?
I just knew that you got a period, you had your menstrual, you could get pregnant, and that was it. I didn't know when you could get pregnant. I didn't know when you was ovulating. I didn't know shit about shit.
Well, I guess we're
with my ex-husband. Because let me make something clear. All of my children, capital A, capital L, capital L, is with one motherfucking man. Y'all hear? One man. One.
That was your husband.
Numero uno. And that was my husband.
That's right.
That's right. Let him know.
That's
But-
right. You should.
I'm being given the wrap it up already.
Well, I'm on. Hey, I agree. Marry before you carry.
I mean, that's a perfect segue. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. So I'm just going to give you a couple of things that Kevin Samuel said. Some quotes. If you have made it to 35 and you are unmarried, you are a leftover woman. You are what is left. Men know that. There is likely something wrong with you. He also says,
I don't agree with that.
if a woman decides to go on a date with any man after the hours of 5 p.m., intimacy should be on the menu. However, if the intention of the woman is to keep that relationship with the man strictly platonic, the time frame of noon to 3 p.m. is more suitable. That's what he said. So,
I see where he's going with that.
excuse me, y'all, for the sake of time, because we do have to wrap it up. We went over a lot. We didn't even get to go over all of the questions that I had.
Another episode for another night there.
Maybe we got to do a live. That's what we can do.
We can
Right?
do that. Absolutely.
A live part 2 about Kevin Samuels. You down for that, Kojo?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. What about you, Jay? Maybe we could do a collaboration with Hoes to Husbands. Bougie Babe with Hoes to Husbands. You could take the second half of the Kevin Samuels conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe Mind Triggers can do that, because Mind Triggers can get into the bust it down Tatiana part of it.
Hey,
Maybe.
shout out to my trip. Shout out to those brothers
So-
and sisters over there.
I thank you, Kojo, for coming on the Bougie Babe podcast again. I thank you, Jay, for coming on from Host to Husband. And as I said, if you haven't done so, watch Host to Husbands, watch Mind Triggers podcast, and of course, watch the Bougie Babe podcast on any streaming platform. And if you want to connect with me, you could do that on the Bougie Babe podcast on Instagram, or you can go to bougiebabe.com, my website, or you can hit me up on my Gmail, thebougiebabe@gmail.com. And I thank you all. And don't forget to taste that porn star.
Bougie Babe. Sip some tea with the Bougie Babe.